Well, welcome back. You're still watching Morning Live here on SABC 2. Tomorrow school starts for the second term of 2016, and for the Matrics, their June exams are a few weeks away. This is a very stressful time in a young person's life as it determines their future. Ntokozo Hlongwane from Ladysmith in the KZN passed his matric with 5 excellence awards and decided to motivate other matrics to seek out their best performance. He has written 2 books and he joins us now in the studio to talk to us more about these 2 books. Ntokozo, good morning to you and welcome to Morning Live.
Good morning, Palisa. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you very much. We're very delighted that you managed to make it here this morning. Now, my first question, what inspired you to write these 2 books?
Basically, what inspired me to write these 2 books, it was my own failure. You know, I failed grade 8, I think it was 2003. And when I failed grade 8, my mother gave me an ultimatum. You know, she told me straight away that if I continue to fail, then I will be nobody in life. So I was compelled to change, and in terms of changing the way I think about myself and my future as well. So I had to think about the people or the surroundings, and she started showing me that if you continue to fail, then you will be like that particular person. You know, like those people who are in the townships, there are so many examples. And I was pushed by my mother to change the way I think about myself and to start, working hard for my success as well.
She did a great job, didn't she?
She did.
She did. So that's why you decided, to also take it to another level and do the same to others.
Yes, because I realized that, passing in school, it has nothing to do with intelligence or being a genius, but it has something to do with making a decision. But not only just a decision, but a quality decision in saying to yourself that I will no longer be a failure again. Then ever since, I've never been a failure. And I went back to school the following year when I failed grade 8, and I got distinction straight away from grade 8 up until grade 12. So
you're basically saying that failing is a choice?
It's a choice, yes. Basically, it is a choice. When you choose whether you want to be successful or you want to be a failure, and I think it is all predicated on how you think about yourself. If you have a bad attitude or a bad mental attitude, then of course you won't be able to make it in this life.
It's a choice, and you most definitely got to work hard towards achieving what you want. Now, the book, How to Finish Grade 12 with Maximum Distinctions. You managed to get 5 distinctions back in 2008?
Absolutely.
And how did you do it?
All right, so let me just put it like this. When I made a decision that I'll no longer be a failure again, and I got distinctions, as I mentioned to you, straight away from grade 8 up until grade 12. So it became my second nature to get distinctions or to be an excellent learner, and up until university. But I was working really hard. And I remember when I was doing grade 12, it was hard because we were the first NCS matric. So we had to work hard because there were no exemplar papers, there were no past papers. So we had to start from the scratch and making sure that we work as hard as we can. So in that year, 2008, if you remember clearly, there were a few distinctions around the country simply because it was a new syllabus. If I may put it like that, or it was a new curriculum. Yes. Absolutely. So I worked really hard. I worked really hard because I was very proactive. When I started the year, I had to make sure that I study very hard so that by the end of June, I was revising towards the end of the year.
Now, Ntokozo, talking about studying hard, I was going through your biography, and basically you were saying that things were not easy at home.
Yes,
but
absolutely.
This did not deter you from, achieving your goals.
Absolutely. I grew up in a very disadvantaged background. Yes, absolutely. And I was raised by a single parent. My mother was working in one of the factories in Ladysmith. She was earning about 250 Rand a week. And we were just 4 of us. It was myself, my 2 brothers, and her. And it was difficult because sometimes you could go to school and you don't have something to eat. No breakfast, sometimes no lunch, sometimes no dinner. But at the end of the day, I believe that, your background, it is not of your making, but what you make out of your background it is of your making. So in other words, you cannot change your background, but you can change your future. So if you can position yourself and say, no matter where I come from, but I can still make it in life.
Your current circumstances should not determine your future, basically.
Absolutely.
Now, tell us more about the book. What's in here?
Okay, I think this book, I always say it is not just a book, but it's a program. It is specifically designed to condition someone to behave in a particular way. You know, I read a book a couple of years ago by Wallace Wattles with the title The Science of Getting Rich. You know, I actually grabbed some nice concept from that particular book. You know, he says that, you know, people become successful in life not because they do certain things, but they become successful because they do things in a certain way. So this book is designed specifically, you know, for a learner who is doing grade 10, 11, or 12 to behave in a certain way, to be conditioned. That is why you have a book and the workbook, so that you can interact with the book and begin to condition yourself in order for yourself to behave in a particular way.
Now, you are a success story, obviously, for someone who's watching you. You have a BA in politics. You're now aiming for your law degree.
I have done my law degree as well.
You have already?
I have a law degree.
Oh, my word. Now, for those of you, you know, thinking that, you know, attaining what you have attained is too expensive. I know that you studied through NSFAS.
Yes, absolutely. No, it has nothing to do with money. You know, I think it has something to do with a vision. If you have a specific vision that this is who I want to be and this is what I want in my life, and then you stick to it. You know, I came to Durban. It was 2009 when the year started. I was accepted to study my law degree already. But I had only 150 rand in my pocket that my mother gave me. But at the end of the day, by March, I was already, you know, having my pocket money because I had to study hard and get myself a bursary.
Sure, Ntokozo, we're going to have to leave it right there. You know, I wish we could just talk and talk for the whole day, because that's quite a motivation for the young people. That's Ntokozo Hlongwane. He is from Ladysmith in KwaZulu-Natal, and he has written this book, How to Finish Grade 12 with Maximum Distinctions. He managed to get 5 distinctions while he was doing Matric back in 2008. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed. What an inspiring story from a young man there. While we